Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, Swoyersville American Legion did what no team in northeastern Pennsylvania has done since maybe like 1935 or something. They went out and won the state title. Congratulations. Sean Toole joining us right now on the show. Well, Sean, you guys did it. What a fabulous year it's been.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the recognition, definitely from you guys. I'm sure, the kids really, take an interest in this. And I'd just like to say thank you before we start anything.
Well, tell us about your team this year, what you guys were able to do on the field. Always competitive Legion League here in northeastern Pennsylvania, and we send teams off each and every year. You guys are the first team to bring it back, and it's just got to be a great feeling in recent times to say, hey, we're the champs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It feels great to be able to call ourselves state champs. But first of all, like what you said, give credit to our Wyoming Valley Legion right here. Many people don't realize how much talent there is, especially this year in the league. A lot of seniors coming back playing from travel ball, playing a tough competitive schedule got us ready, to take the next step. So first of all, I'd like to take, thanks to those teams out there, but absolutely it feels great to finally get over to Humble, winning a regional title, and then, being the first team in a long time here to win a state title. I think it was 1966 or something like that. The South Scranton team won one. So I think since the realignment, we're the first team to win a state title in Region 5 in quite some time.
Well, Sean, you're a young guy, 25 years old. You're too young to be a coach. I mean, what a way to start off your career as a young coach and doing this. I'm sure it feels incredible for you to do what you've done, but I'm sure you'll give credit to some of your other coaches that coach with you and, of course, your players.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I couldn't probably do it without my assistant coach, my dad, Gary Gavrish. He's right there. He contributes just as much to that team as I'll ever contribute. I find it hard to believe not doing it, without a guy like that. I had a guy like Nick Hogan come back after playing a year in college. He worked out with the team, but also providing great insight, playing at that Division I level. And then most of all, got to thank the players. They worked their butts off for this. They did anything that the coaches asked, and they had that, that revenge factor in their head from last year in regionals. So that was burning all season long, and I can't thank those guys enough.
How about the town of Swoyersville? And yes, it's the Swoyersville American Legion, but when was the last time Swoyersville got top billing at something? This feels pretty good for them.
Absolutely. I believe, actually, I guess you would have to go back to our junior Legion team in 2010 winning a state title. Unfortunately, they don't get to advance, but now finally at, the senior level, the high school level, being able to bring it back to Swoyersville. I know the other night we were at the Bazaar after the game. They had a nice little ceremony for the kids, and I think it really hit the kids. The community support that we've been getting is just great.
We're talking with Sean Toole here on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. We talk about the Swoyersville American Legion. They win the state title, and now they're headed to that next step. And Sean, tell us a little bit about this next step.
This Thursday, like you said, we take the next step, which is something new to all of us. It's called the Mid-Atlantic Regionals. It consists of 2 teams from Pennsylvania, 2 from New Jersey, 1 from New York, Maryland, and Delaware. So this week there will be 8 teams, a double elimination tournament. It's held at Campbell's Field, where the Camden River Sharks play. That's an independent team. So it's a nice stadium for the kids. It's a new atmosphere, and it's another challenge. One team gets out of here to the World Series. I believe it starts August 14th in Shelby, North Carolina. So, with these guys, anything's possible.
Well, Sean, let's start with your team and talking about some of the talent that you have. And first up, you always have to get it done with pitching. And tell us about your pitching at the tournament and how you guys were able to mow down the other teams.
Oh, absolutely. Our pitching is probably one of our strong suits. Anytime you go in the tournament play like this, you need good pitching. Starting at the top with a post grad, he pitches at Wilkes University, Chris Nixon. Chris threw 18 innings of baseball for us, the first game and the title game in the regional tournament, and also in the state tournament. So I had 10 strikeouts the other day in the state title against Northampton. Starting at the top with him, excellent pitcher, command both sides of the plate, really unhittable all season long. One of our team MVPs for sure. And then we have a guy like Billy Gregory, who's got that fiery attitude. He comes at you with a whole bunch of stuff, a little bit of a slider, a sidearm action guy, three-quarter guy. Again, unbelievable job. He's going to be a senior at Valley West. And then you have guys like Logan Zavada, who is just a big horse out there. Really good fastball, really hard slider. And then a guy like our shortstop, Chris Loophole, who he just comes out there and just throws strikes. He was key for us all season long. He had a big relief appearance against West Mifflin in the winner's bracket final game. And without those four guys, and then the dark horse was Jeremy Warlinski, who just did anything this year. 8 innings up, pitched a great game against Boyertown the other night. And, so with those 5 guys, we're as deep as any team in the state of Pennsylvania. And they're the 5 guys that they're part of the reason why we're a state champion baseball team.
We're talking Swoyersville American Legion here on the John Mendola Show. They are state champs, headed to the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Coach, let's now take us through the infield. Let's first start behind the plate. Tell us about your catcher, because you always need a great guy behind the plate that is getting the job done.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Our catcher, Ryan Hogan, kind of a younger guy. He's going to be a junior, just coming off a sophomore season. Probably the most, if not the most talented hitter, one of the most talented hitters in the state of Pennsylvania. He proved that this week. He hit 600 in our league this year. Couple home runs. Definitely a Division I guy. Highly recruited right now. Was batting champion at the state tournament. Was MVP of the state tournament. What didn't he do? You could actually almost say for us. Unbelievable catcher behind the plate. Leads our team. Handles the pitching staff great. And obviously, like I said, the bat speaks for itself. Definitely the best hitter in this area. And one of our team leaders at such a young age.
And the maturity that a kid like Ryan Hogan has, as you mentioned, he's just going to be entering his junior year, but carries himself so much, so much more maturely.
Unbelievable. I mean, that showed. He had the 3-run home run that tied against West Mifflin in the winner's bracket final game to send us to Mid-Atlantic, and then a huge bases clearing double to put us ahead in that game 9-7. So. Yeah, the maturity level, well beyond his years. Great kid on and off the field. Pleasure to coach.
Well, Sean, let's take us through the rest of the infield from first over to third. Tell us about the guys that hit the field there for Swoyersville.
Well, at first base, we have a senior in Evan McHugh, another leader on our field, had a tremendous career at Valley West. Unbelievable defensive first baseman, saves runs over there every game, and just this regional and state tournament's been unbelievable for a guy like Evan. Talk about stepping up. He's thrown 2 and 3 hit games all over the place for us in the postseason, and especially for the last 2 years, he's been a key to our team. And then right over on second base, you have probably the most underrated player I think I've ever been around in Mike Leonard. Unbelievable glove in the infield. You rarely see a kid make an error. I don't think he's made more than 2 errors in 2 years. He hits 4th in my lineup. Came through in the championship game with some huge hits. Undoubtedly, probably one of our big-time leaders on the field, and we wouldn't be here without a guy like him. And then shortstop, we have Chris Loophole, who didn't play with us last year, and we inserted Chris in shortstop. And he hits in the 2-hole for us. The pitching, the defense, the hitting, just does it so quietly. Unbelievable player, great kid. Has just thrown hit after hit and made play after play in the field. Then at third base, you got a Holy Redeemer guy, Jeremy Warlinski. He plays anywhere. Mostly our third baseman slides over to short when Loophole doesn't pitch. And if anybody asks, like I said, this year on the mound, unbelievable. And at the plate, he just had one heck of a season. And he's been hot from game one to, the state title game. Without him, like I said, we don't do this. And he's really stepped up this year, and it's great. He's going to play some college ball at Lackawanna, and he's just one heck of a player. And then I guess I have to throw in, Billy Gregory, who does anything in the infield, second, short, third. Has had a great year at the plate, played anywhere I've asked him to play. So with those guys in the infield, it's a really good senior leadership group of guys.
Sean Toole taking us through the Swoyersville American Legion infield here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. They are the state champs headed to the Mid-Atlantic Regional, which is in New Jersey this Thursday. Oh, Coach, now we head to the outfield. I know you have some talented guys out there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I guess you start right in the middle of the field with Jeremy Zabecki. He just won the Sportsmanship Award at the state tournament. That just shows how, what great kid he is. He's a senior. He's the top of the order. He fuels everything. Unbelievable speed on the bases. It's almost a guarantee when he gets on that we're going to score. He kind of ignites everything at the top, and then he quietly just runs down every single ball in center field. You get a little complacent in center with a guy like Jeremy because, almost anything in the air in center field, he tracks down. So, that's been a guy that just has done everything for us. Steal bases, hit, play great defense, play the game the right way. And then in left field, you have a younger guy, Justin Montalvo, who is almost the same player as Zabecki. Unbelievable speed. He's hitting a 9-hole, but against West Mifflin in the state winners bracket, just had an unbelievable game. He's really stepped up this postseason. Bright future ahead of him. Has a chance to be a really good ball player. He'll step right in center field. Great skills in the outfield. Unbelievable speed. And then in right field, we got a guy like Matty Labashowski, who I should have mentioned also in the infield, is actually a third baseman. But this year, I asked him to move out to the outfield with all the infielders we had. Did it without even blinking an eye. Had an unbelievable season hitting the baseball. Moved to right field. I believe he has one error on the year. It was in the regional game. A ball popped out of his glove. But he has been unbelievable out there for us. Throws in hits at all the right times. Big triple in the state title game. And just one of those guys that you need in your order in order to get to a place like this and win a state title.
Sean Toole talking about the Swoyersville American Legion team that has won the state title here in northeastern Pennsylvania and representing northeastern Pennsylvania as they head to the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Well, Sean, you have a couple more guys on the roster that I'm sure contribute to this team and kind of round it out and make sure that you guys are as good as you get.
Absolutely. Just included right there in that outfield group is a guy like Mark Barron. He started in left field, the starting left fielder for Valley West. Kind of a guy that'll do anything for you to win the baseball game. He's played left field, right field. He's DH'd for us. He's thrown his hits in there. Unbelievable team guy. He comes into the game even if you got to have a guy that's going to bunt. Great baseball instincts. A kid like Keaton Dolan, who DH'd for us, pitched on the mound a little bit for us. Another great kid, has a very bright future, especially at the plate. Guys like Mark Popson, who another bright future guy, has thrown his hits in this year for us. And then you can't go without mentioning, Brandon Tekmansky has thrown innings on the mound for us. And got team guys like Andrew Semanek, Mike Conway, a backup catcher that does all the things behind the scenes, for us. And a team guy like Semanek, who he's great. He brings these guys together. So, all these guys is, it's just been a total team effort. 17 guys, working as one. It's been a great year, and I couldn't do it without one of them.
Coach, sounds like these guys have put the egos to the side, and it's been a team theme. And for a little place like Swoyersville, Pennsylvania, to win the state title, it's got to be an incredible feeling of what you guys are able to accomplish.
Oh, definitely. like I said, realistically, we put a goal out from day one. I met with these guys to, strive for a state title. It was good to get the monkey off the back finally to get, past regionals after last year. They went to the state tournament. I asked them, play with your hair on fire, play as hard as you can for 9 innings. And when you play as hard as you can for 9 innings, good things happen. They've worked hard in practice, and, they've worked for this moment. So they deserve every bit of this. They put the work in, and I know they're proud to call themselves state champs.
Swoyersville American Legion, they are headed to the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Sean Toole, you're a great player back in the day at Wyoming Valley West, of course, headed on to some great things in college here in Northeast PA and, of course, at Pitt. So congratulations on everything you've done, and we wish you well this weekend.
Thank you very much, and once again, I want to thank you. Thanks for the recognition. I know the guys appreciate it, and I know the community of Swoyersville appreciates it. Thank you very much.
Swoyersville American Legion. Go Red Dogs. It seems to be the theme. And we wish you well this weekend here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.